Well, people, if you haven't felt the burn now, it is time to feel it. Let me tell you something. I watched it live while I was playing BR13. Um, and ironically, we're talking about Medicare for All health insurance, which is the day that my health insurance I turned 26. I'm 26 now. That the day my health insurance ran out. So if anyone needs Medicare for All, it's me. But I've been busy with work and shit like that. And also trying to find my FAFSA, my parents' 2017 income. Why does FAFSA want to know how much my parents made 2 years ago? I'm footing the bill here. Anywho, um, I saw the debates and Bernie really crushed it, no doubt. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying he did as bad as Obama during the first debate. That he did as bad as Obama did during the first debate between him and Romney in 2012. Now, Obama was just half asleep. It's like, what? Someone give him a Xanax? But the debate, like the second debate between Obama and Mitt Romney, is sort of similar. Bernie is like similar to that. Like could have done better in the first debate, but second debate, Bernie just shot. He shot everyone down except Warren. Um, Basically, he said, "Fuck it. Everyone thinks I'm an angry old man, so why don't I?" So what am I doing? So basically, especially my favorite part will always be my favorite is the whole he's like talking about healthcare and yeah, and he goes like some eyeglasses and Tim Ryan's like
will be better because Medicare for All is comprehensive. It covers all health care needs for senior citizens. It will finally include dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses.
But you don't know.
Second of all,
you don't know that,
second
Bernie.
of all,
We'll come to you in a second,
I do know, and I wrote the damn bill.
But I also like he just had no time for John Hickenlooper's bullshit and stupidity. It's like he's just like going, "Oh, raise your hand up." And he goes,
I think if we're going to force Americans to make these radical changes, they're not going to go along. You throw your hands up, but you haven't. Oh, I can do it. But you haven't implemented the plans. Us governors and mayors are the ones that we have to pick up all the pieces when suddenly the government's supposed to take over all these responsibilities and there's no preparation, the details aren't worked. You can't just spring a plan on the world and expect it to succeed.
Senator Sanders. John, I was a mayor, and I helped transform my city. I have some practical experience. Second of all, interestingly enough, today is the anniversary of Medicare. 54 years ago, under Lyndon Johnson and the Democratic Congress, they started a new program after 1 year, 19 million elderly people in it. Please don't tell me that in a 4-year period, we cannot go from 65 down to 55 to 45 to 35. This is not radical. This is what virtually every other country on earth does. We are.
Thank you, Senator.
I want to bring out.
yes, Stephen Colbert put it. Raising his hands in dramatic gestures is sort of what he does. I mean, he goes like this all the time. You don't rip little children away from the arms of their mother. Just, we are not going. He does this. He doesn't do this. He does this. But seriously, and also CNN and also Jake Tapper, they asked very Republican questions, and they were actually trying to pit the two progressives, Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, against each other, and it didn't work. They teamed up. They were like literally standing. They were like standing next to each other, and there was one point you can actually see they actually looked at each other and smiled. Like, can you believe these idiots? Just it's like it's working. Keep it up, Elizabeth. You keep it up, Bernie. Just Bernie could not have pulled this off any greater. There, I I was half expecting Bernie to say "sit down, son" or something like literally. And speaking, going back to This is just, and Marianne Williamson did better than I thought she would. I thought when I first looked up who she, like when I watched the first debate, I'm like, who the hell is this woman? I'm like, Marianne Williamson, a book writer? And trust me, I've never read them, but I've looked up what she written, and boy, I believe in God, but okay. There's believing in God, and then there's relying too much on God. Yeah. Yeah. Like, Pete Buttigieg also did better than I thought he would. You know, he made some very astounding points, like, I don't care about your age, I care about something. And then also he said that it doesn't matter whether we campaign is left, it doesn't matter what campaign is right. The Republicans are gonna call us socialists, so why should we bother? Okay, look, you can be anti Pete Buttigieg all you want, but he's right. It's sort of like, like I say about Trump. Even a dead clock is right twice in one night. And yes, Pete Buttigieg is right. Yes. Now, all the centrists, they were all coming out against Medicare for all. It was Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren being the only ones being for Medicare for all, and John Delaney just being all, oh, we can't do this. And then Elizabeth Warren saying, I don't know why we're running for president, why y'all are running for president of the United States. What's the point of excuse me. What's the point of running for president of the United States? All we're going to talk about is what we can't get accomplished. I'm like, thank you, Elizabeth Warren. Thank you. My opinion of her has dropped a little bit, but she definitely brought my opinion of her way back up. This talks about her that she was being vetted to be Hillary's vice president. That's why she didn't endorse Bernie, in 2016, and also just the way she served the military-industrial complex, and the way some people say she's got like 1 foot in the establishment, 1 foot progressive. Basically, I do like if it isn't Tulsi, I'm leaning for Tulsi being the vice president under Bernie. Like Bernie's got to be president no matter what. Nope. No compromise. Nope. No. But I'm conflicted on whether Warren or Tulsi. Just saying. And it's ironic that they're both women. And that's, by the way, that's not why. I would be, if there was any progressive male that was more progressive than Tulsi or Elizabeth Warren, I would be for that guy. This is the two people who happen to be the most progressive in this race, besides Bernie, are women. Besides, just I don't know what I was gonna say. Brain fart. Okay. I especially love the why are you people running as Democrats? I was like, yes. Point number two to House Warren. By the way, I want to know, why does she keep her first maiden name? She's married to another man, but she kept her first husband's name. That's her choice. But anyway, point 20 to House Warren. Yes, it's like, what the fuck? Why are you people trying to run as Republicans? You might as well run as Republicans. Basically, centrist Democrats are basically saying, oh, we're basically Republicans. We're just not racist. Okay? Well, Matt Walsh is a Republican. He isn't racist. Well, not anymore. He's not a Republican anymore. Anyway. But yes, they all failed. I especially loved Bernie kicking Tim Ryan's teeth in, and Bernie saying, "I ain't got time for your bullshit, John Hickenlooper." Oh, and I'll talk about this tomorrow, but Joe Biden got owned, and I'm actually. It's just bad, but I'm actually starting to feel bad for Joe Biden. I don't want him as my president. But I don't want him to feel like, we all hate him. I want Joe Biden to hey, we appreciate what you did for us when you were vice president, but we just don't want you as our president. I don't hate Biden. I don't. I hate Trump. I hate Pence and all his sycophant Republicans. But really, I don't hate Biden. I don't. I don't hate Biden. I just don't want him. Now, he is the closest man I despise. Or maybe I just don't like him the most. But I just don't want him as my president. At least not anymore. Like, I did wonder, like in 2015, I remember commenting to my at the time girlfriend, like, will Vice President Biden throw his hat in the ring? Like how Al Gore did, and Bush Jr. did, and Hubert Humphrey, and Nixon. You know, like, yeah. Just. And Tulsi also, instead of attacking Biden, she just destroyed Kamala Harris, saying, your policies imprison people. Anyway, I said I would talk about it tomorrow. But I want to give it to Bernie. Bernie, I know you're not watching this, but on the off chance you do, you did good, buddy. Now, if like one of these people running for president came to like my district, and I happened to run into him, said, "Hey, like? Why don't you come and vote for me?" I would just be like, "Senator, I'm voting for Bernie Sanders. I've met Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Bernie Sanders," and walk away casually, because that's I have no doubt of who I'm voting for. What I do have conflict is who should be Bernie's running mate. Who should be the vice president? Is it Elizabeth Warren or Tulsi? Ironically, they're women, but let me be clear. I may be a liberal progressive Democrat, but gender arbitrary characteristics have nothing to do with my decision. They could be men. Like Bernie Sanders could pick a man, and I'd still be like, hey, whatever. I mean, hell, the vice president doesn't do anything. Seriously, like I try to be as respectful to Joe Biden and Al Gore, for what they did, but basically they did nothing. Like Al Gore obviously did more because he actually there were tie votes in the Senate. Joe Biden didn't have one tie vote in the Senate during his time. But I'm just saying the vice president literally does nothing except like maybe like, oh, I'm gonna fill in for the president when he or she can when he's not here. Yeah, and basically the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate will be equally divided. The vice president votes this way, and also raise your right hand to be sworn into the Senate, or like chair recognizes the senator from the sovereign system of Naboo. I mean Georgia. Fuck them, my life. Anyway, I'm just saying, it's like on one hand, Tulsi is like awesome. Tulsi is like just awesome. She's a war veteran, and she's anti-war. She's military. In fact, I might have to look her up, but she might be like like how people like some people they're still in the military, like they're in the reserves. Like I didn't I learned this recently that you can actually still be in the reserves and still be running for office. Like President Truman, when he was president, he was launched into the presidency in 1945. He was still in the reserves until 1953 when he left office. Then he's like, okay, fuck this. I'm retiring from the public office. I'm retiring from the military. Go, y'all. Yeah. So, yeah, Bernie Sanders did great. So did Warren. But I guess I'm like I do have like it's not like there's something I don't like. I mean it's not like there's nothing I like about Warren. It's just I guess she just reminds me of my girlfriend's grandma, and yeah, I don't know. But she does have some good points. And they did work together. Again, that want to get these fuckers. Yeah. Alright, people, I got work in the morning, so, possibly Sunday, because I'm going to have my, Friday and Saturday busy. I'm gonna be able to discuss the second debate, with Joe Biden, Warren, and Tulsi. I mean, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Tulsi Gabbard. Those are the only the main people. Like, I don't know why the others are still in there besides vanity and also money. My theory, okay, before I go, but one of my theories about why some people run for president, other than getting their name out, there are some people that run for president and no, they have no chance. Like, why is John Delaney still there? I guess John Delaney, he just can't accept it. It's like, I've been running, like, to his credit, John Delaney is the longest in this campaign. John Delaney has been running for president since 2017. He's been in this game the longest, and he still hasn't gotten out of 0%. Like, when he drops out, I will try my best with what limited resources I have to do a Hungry for Power Games dropout. Anyway, that some people, they run for president, they know they're not gonna be elected this year, but they get all this campaign donations from corporate PAC money, and when they drop out, they still get that money. Like, I know to this day, Hillary Clinton is still, she may be bitter about the whole. He's like, oh, yeah. You people don't like us, corporate, centrist, feminist. But she's still counting all that dough from Wall Street. Yeah, she's still counting that money, and that's what they run for president. They get their name out there, and they get all that money. When they drop out, they get all that cash. Even if they lose, they still win, at least the money. But if Bernie loses, we all lose. Well, if Bernie loses again, we all lose. But hopefully, he will win. And let's be clear. Now when Bernie gets a nomination, we do need to still pay attention to the election because we don't know what happened. But I do say this, and I've had many people tell me this, that if that when Bernie gets the nomination, it's all over. It's all over for Trump. Now, if Joe Biden gets the nomination, Trump's gonna win. And Biden is still in the polls, but only because name recognition. Default. It's leading by default because people, including me, still have a favorable, 64% of people still have a favorable view of Obama. And I do say that a third term of Obama would be better than the abysmal dictatorship that we have today. But when he hit the debates, his poll number, even the first one, his poll numbers went down. In fact, I think the only good time Biden had is when Eric Swalwell mentioned, who by the way dropped out. Eric Swalwell mentioned the whole pass the torch. He's like, yeah, he's talking about me. He's talking about me. And then it's like, pass the torch to you? Well, you little turd. So anyway, that's all I gotta say. Bernie, you did great today. So did Warren. And Tulsi did too, and I'll talk about that Sunday. Well, or maybe Saturday night. But I want everyone to stay out there, stay progressive, and as always,
may the force be with you.